Hi, this is Deacon John Wilson here, Education Enrichment Director for West Angeles Church, here to talk to class of 2025 seniors. Well, there you are. You've finished something, or maybe you've gotten accepted to some schools, and you're wondering what to do next. You know, the toughest situation will be students who applied to multiple schools. I mean, by multiple, I don't mean just four or five. I mean, some of you 15 or 20 and you're starting to maybe see that, you know, managing that many schools is challenging because you have to follow all the correspondence for those schools and do all the financial aid things properly for those schools. And it's not that easy. But let's just deal here with what happens next. Well, the next thing that should happen is visiting the schools because I would hope, and I'm pretty sure, that you're not going to attend the school you don't visit. So parents, if they get in 9, 10 schools, 15 schools, and you won't find that out until February or March, it's too late to visit all those schools. So you have to come up with some kind of process for how you decide. So more important than what you decide is how you decide. Now, I think the first decision is how many schools you're going to visit. And that's really determined by what your high school will allow and what your academic performance allows, because you could be away a long time. Now, students visit on the average 3 schools. So if you visit 3 schools, pretty much you're going to one of those 3, even though you might have applied to 25 or 26. Now, what some of you might think is you're going to wait to see the financial aid award. Now, that's a good strategy, but again, you won't increase beyond 3 schools you're going to visit, maybe only 2 or 1. But you're not going to go where you don't visit. And that's how I can usually determine where students are going to go to school, by where they visit. So think about that for a minute. Let's do a little thought experiment. Schools are not notifying you of their financial aid awards right away after you're admitted. It depends on when you file your FAFSA and all that. But if their priority dates are February for the financial aid documents, you won't know till March. The decision has to be made by May 1st. So you got to travel in March and April, but that's 7 or 8 weeks. You're going to go to about 3 schools. Now, one way is to talk to someone who knows what you're going to get into, or look at what you got into early and visit those now. And so we have some travel upcoming. If you go to our website, I'll include the link in the description below. And you can see we have travel to Sonoma State, Boise State, and the DC colleges, George Washington and Howard. So if you applied to one of those, you can go with us to visit the schools. At this time, those are the only ones we're visiting. I forgot there is one more. We're going to be taking a trip to CSU Bakersfield as well. But those 4 schools, some of you all may not apply to any of those schools. I have a bunch who have, and they'll go with me. But that's how you're going to determine where you go. Now, there's another school, Grand Canyon, that has free tours. You might encounter another school that does, but they're the only one I know like that has free college tours. So the next real thing is where you're going to visit. Remember that this is determining how you will decide. So you visit, and then you wait for the financial aid awards. Now here in our next meeting, which is coming up on the first week of January, I believe, I'll include a link to that too, so you can register for the meeting. We'll talk about how to read the financial aid award. And then maybe you'll have the visit to the school, how much it costs, because you shouldn't go to school and say, I'm going to go somewhere and you don't know the cost. But a lot of times when students get into school they really want, parents, or the one that you want for them, there's not a willingness to objectively look at the price. but we should, especially with the economy now and the interest rates so high, parents. Your parent loan is going to be 9% this year. You know, I see the Feds cut the rates. It may go below a 9 again. We'll see. But it's a very expensive loan and it's locked in. Unless you've saved a lot of money for college, you should make sure at least that you know what you're going to pay for college. So once you know what you're going to pay for college, you visit 2 or 3 colleges. Now you pick between the 2 or 3. Now I would think you would visit the ones you really like, but sometimes you visit the one you really like, it's not the price that you want. And that's how you sort of get caged into going places that maybe the family can't really afford. So I'm one of these students that will be totally patient with their parents and honest with themselves. But remember, concentrate more as a family on how you will decide, not on what's next, what you're going to do. Now, surely you want to finish all your applications, but schools that admitted you early, you should probably look through those and visit one of them. And again, we're traveling to those schools I mentioned earlier. Look down below and you will see the same link to go to our events. You scroll down slowly and you're going to see all the tours that we have upcoming beginning in February. Thank you very much. Actually, there's one in January, but go look at it. God bless you. Bye-bye now.